Hi guys, welcome back to episode DB Cars, and today's episode I'll be showing you guys GetGo Toyota Prius. So let's dive straight to this video right now. Alright guys, so here is guys the Toyota Prius from GetGo itself. So I'll be running through with you guys the damages for this vehicle that's any before I show you guys the trunk space as well as the interior. So let me just start off with the damages for this vehicle that's any. So starting out with the front of the vehicle, there isn't any obvious damage which I can observe, which is a good thing, other than since this is a white car, so hence it is extremely dirty itself. So you can see all those dirt right there itself. So yeah, also another thing to point out before I move further on in this video is this is the pre-facelift, not pre-facelift, this is the facelifted Toyota Prius before they bring out the new generation of the Prius itself. So this is a late, I would say a 2018 to 2019 Prius itself. So yeah, with the basically what they changed for this facelifted Prius is they changed the headlights, tail light, as well as the rear bumper itself, as well as the front. So that's what they changed on the outside. For the inside, I didn't really observe what I can't really pinpoint what they changed itself. Maybe there's not much change or no changes to the interior itself, but on the outside it's mainly the headlight, the front and the back they change itself, which I'll show you the back later on itself. So yeah, starting with the front, there's no damages from the front bumper as what I see. Same thing for the windscreen, there's no windscreen chip from what I can observe as well, which is a very good thing for this car. Moving along to the side of the vehicle, unfortunately this vehicle does sustain some curve rash on the rim itself, and also very dirty from I think all the brake dust or whatever that's being accumulated around the rim itself. So yeah, moving along towards the back, same thing, no just the rim curve and rim very dirty itself, but no obvious body damage on the vehicle itself. Lastly, let's move towards moving to the rear. This is how the rear of the facelifted Prius look like. So basically, I think if I can show the pictures, I'll probably put on screen right now the front of the facelifted Prius and the rear of the facelifted, the comparison between the facelifted and non-facelifted one itself. So as you guys can see now, this is the rear itself. The pre-facelift one has the tail light, the brake light or whatever you call it, running down here itself, while the facelifted one, they just decided to just make it shorter and just extending out to the trunk area itself, instead of going downwards like something like a claw that's being slashed right here itself. So yeah, but in the back there's no obvious damage other than maybe this part being very dirty itself. But other than that is basically I have for the rear itself. Moving to the passenger side, no obvious damage, same thing, but the fuel door is right here if you're wondering. To access the fuel door is, I think there's a lever because not able to press it on the outside. But passenger side wise, or the same thing as the driver side, no body damage other than the rims being curved and dirty as well. So yeah, other than that, that is basically it for the vehicle itself. Now let me just show you guys the trunk space for the vehicle itself. So to access the trunk space for the Prius itself is there's a button right down the Toyota emblem. Just press on that and it should unlatch itself. So once you press on that, just lift this up and voila, this is what you're basically greeted with itself. I'll probably put on screen right now how much liter of trunk space this vehicle has. Yeah, as you guys can see, this is quite looking in person wise, it's very spacious for this kind of car itself. And I think if I were to judge, I would say probably you could put 2 medium-sized suitcases in here and maybe some soft bag right at the top. Right beneath it, you just got your spare tire and your jack right there to jack up the car, and your toolkit right there itself. So yeah, and that is basically it for the vehicle. Alternatively, if you do not want to show your cargo itself, you could actually put this cover right here all the way here, and you could actually hide it itself, which is quite handy itself. I'm not too sure if you're able to actually remove this if let's say you do not want to, but if I'm not wrong, you should be able to itself. Alternatively, there's some hook right here on either side if you want to put your stuff on. There's also anchoring point right at the corner of the the corner of the trunk space, and yeah, that's basically it itself. And some right down there as well. So yeah, and that's basically that for the vehicle. If you want even more space in this vehicle itself, you could actually fold down the rear seat just by pressing on this button right here, and the seat will just drop down, and this could actually be folded down, and you have a very nice smooth flooring itself. It's not flooring, sorry, load space itself. So yeah, and that's that for the trunk space. To close it up is very simple itself. Just need to grab hold on this and pull it down, and the trunk will just close down itself. So yeah, that's basically that. So right now I'll be showing you guys the rear of the car, so let's jump straight to that right now. Alright, let's now just jump straight into the rear of the Prius itself. So stepping right in, it is quite a familiar territory, if you want to say, because basically this is what most of, if I'm not wrong, most or currently there's still some, actually no, not some, most of the taxi companies and private hire cars, they still use the Prius because it's very economic. It's good on the mileage and everything itself. So yeah, but in the rear, this is what you're being greeted with for the interior. I don't have to say much, because if you sat in a taxi or private hire, you'll be very familiar to this interior itself. But in the rear, you just get some storage pocket right here to put your stuff. Same for behind the front passenger seat. Right here, storage space if you want to put your stuff. If not, you can put your water bottle right here or drinks. Then you also got hook thing to hold on to. If not, you can hook your stuff on itself. So yeah, I see this is on all four sides of the car. Just that the rear is just additional hook, which is this thing, which you could hook your stuff onto if you want to itself. Also in the rear, you also get this very nice reading light, which can be turned on or turned off when depending on your preference. So you want to turn off, I could actually turn it off by going to the center itself. And no, sorry. Basically you got this setting where doors are open or on the light itself. So there's no way to turn off the center light if you want to itself, unless you want to do it for the front itself. So yeah. Alright, last but not least, you get 12-volt socket outlet right at the bottom if you want to charge your device. If not, basically that's that itself. So yeah, but one new thing, you do get two cup holders right here if you want to. If let's say this is being put by something else, you can actually put your drinks right here itself, which is quite nice, I would say. So yeah. Next up, lastly, let me just show you guys the seating position. Currently this is set based off the previous driver itself, so I got more than enough leg room itself to so that's a good thing. But I think if this were to be adjusted to my driving position, probably it will have a slight reduction in space. I'm not too sure how many, but probably I will figure out it later on itself by myself. Headroom space wise is not too bad. I got about 4 fingers of headroom space wise, or about 3 to 4 fingers left for the headroom space wise for the vehicle itself. So yeah, moving along to the center seating itself is also not too bad, because the transmission tunnel isn't that high, unlike some other cars where the transmission tunnel is usually much higher, and there will be a reduction in space itself. So yeah. But sitting wise is still not too bad. This, like what I said, is based off the last people that hired the vehicle itself. So got tons of leg room space right in the for my legs. But if this were to be adjusted to whatever their preference is, then there will definitely be a reduction in space wise. So yeah, headroom space wise is really quite bad, I would say. If I was slightly taller itself, I would be definitely hitting the roof of the vehicle already itself. Even though, if you can see, there's a slight indentation right here itself and right here itself for people sitting on the left or right hand side. But if you were to be sitting in the center itself, you can feel you're much more closer toward the roof of the vehicle rather than sitting here itself. So yeah, but headroom space wise, I think I would say it's about 2 fingers to just 1 finger headroom space wise for the vehicle itself. So yeah, not really the best. So yeah, and that, let me just move to the front right now. But before I do that, this is how the interior looks like for the Prius itself. So let me just jump out of the vehicle right now and I'll catch you guys at the front. Alright then, let me now show you guys the front of the vehicle itself. So before I step right into the vehicle itself, let me just show you guys how to adjust the seat and the steering wheel. To adjust the seat itself, which is right here, the angle of the seat is right here itself. The height of the seat is right here. Then if you want to adjust, I think this is your lumbar support for this part right here. And to adjust how far or how back, is this lever right here itself. So just put on that and you're able to adjust it according to whatever position you want itself. So yeah, right now for the steering wheel itself, the adjusting is right at the bottom right here. So just put on that and you're able to adjust it according to your preference itself. So yeah, once done, and just lock it in right at the bottom itself. So yep. Alright, moving along, next up, you got your storage space in this vehicle itself. So storage space in this vehicle itself, you got one right here itself, a decent size. Probably not much you could put inside. Let me see what this. Not too sure of that. Got the owner's manual for the vehicle right here itself, and other miscellaneous junk for its control for the infotainment right here. And that's basically that itself. If I want to, technically I could put my bag in there itself, but I'm not going to do it itself. So yeah, moving along, you got another storage space right here. Probably if you want to, you could put your phone or your wallet right here. Then your drinks can be placed here. Then you got the GetGo refilling card right here, as well as the receipt, which the previous renter I think probably just refilled the car. So that's quite cool. And also this armrest, this storage space right here on the accessories, usually you thought it would be lifted upwards, but for this is sideways. So it's like somewhat like a Mercedes, where you can open the split glove box. Like usually there was split setting for the Mercedes, but for the Prius is just one way itself. So yeah, not really much itself. Right down below here, you're another 12-volt socket outlet right there if you want to charge your phone. And that's basically about that itself. So yeah, next up, you got your controls right here for the vehicle. You got your EV mode, which basically just use the vehicle in electric mode for short duration. You got your various driving mode right here, your gear selector right here, and your, I think this is your parking sensor if I'm not wrong itself. So yeah, and also and I don't know why, but for the Prius, I think they decided to put the IU card reader right here, which is very, very convenient. Not like some cars where they put the IU, sorry, not the IU reader, the cash card, wherever you put the cash card in. Usually they will put it maybe right down there or here itself, which is very inconvenient. That is, in my opinion, the position of this cash card thing or the IU reader, if you put it right there, it's very inconvenient, because technically you can't, if it's by yourself, you have to reach it over there by yourself. If it's here, it's still okay, but placing this right here on the Prius is very, very convenient in my opinion itself, which I really like it a lot. So yeah, moving on top, you got your various AC controls right here, infotainment right here, and your headlight button right at the top, which is easy to reach itself. And picking up the air vents, you can see right here. One nice detail I really like a lot is the vent, where you can adjust the sliding of the vent. You've got the very nice Prius naming on it itself, and it's on all the air vents, as you guys can see. So, which is a very, very nice touch that you don't see for German car manufacturers. It's only the Japanese usually they will do this, which is very, very nice small details that they do itself. So yeah, and right at top you just got your screen for all the various information itself. And this is very, very remote. It's like a throwback to the Prius C, if I'm not wrong. The Prius C and the Aqua Hybrid, the first generation Aqua Hybrid, has it as well, which is it used to be right here, but I think for this generation Prius or the I think starting from the pre-facelift or the generation before that, they decided to place it in the center itself, which is very obvious for people sitting all around, sitting in the vehicle can see your speedo and various information itself. So yeah, moving along, you got your steering wheel right here, your volume control for the infotainment, your trip information for that information right there, which I'll show you guys later on. And this, which has no controls at all, but I'm guessing controls the thing on the dials itself. So yeah, moving along to the stock itself, you got your wiper control stocks right here, which control the front and the rear itself. So for the rear wipers, this switch right here, front is just this big main one itself. So yeah, and you got adjusting of frequency right here itself. So that's that. To wash the windscreen wiper, just need to pull back and you'll just wash the windscreen itself. For the rear itself, just need to pull down. I think there should be a way to wash the rear. I'm not too sure how to do that, but I'll probably figure out myself later on. And on the right side, you got your stocks for the fog light, as well as your main headlight itself, as well as your indicators, as well as your high beams. High beam, just need to push forward to activate it, pull back again to deactivate, and pull back one time to flash your high beam itself. So yeah, and you got this knob right here to adjust all the various the headlight control switches right here itself. So yeah, right at the bottom, you got your cruise control stock right here itself. So to set the cruise control, just pull down one time, and this is to resume. This to set the cruise control, then you set it itself, then you just increase speed by going up or down itself. And this stock is very familiar on the Prius C and the Aqua Hybrid, which I reviewed previously itself. So basically, the Aqua Hybrid is the previous generation Aqua Hybrid itself. So yeah. Alright, moving along, you got your stop button, turn on and turn off the car, traction control button right here. Further down, you got your fuel door release switch right here, as well as much further down, you got your engine, your hood release to access the engine bay at the front itself. So yeah, basically that's that. And last but not least, you got your switches right here for the windows, as well as the locking and unlocking mechanism, as well as the switch right here to prevent people from rolling down the windows. Right here, you got your folding and unfolding mirrors function, as well as your adjusting mirrors function right here, which can twist it to the left or the right to adjust it itself, and you can just use the knob right here to adjust it itself. So yeah, and right above it, you got your door release handle to get out the car itself. So yeah. Alright, last but not least, you just got your sun visor right here with a very nice mirror, and this also can be swiveled to one side to block the sun coming in itself. So fortunately, like some cars, they don't have the option to slide this out further or have an extender right here. So fortunately, you still have that some sunlight coming in from here itself. So yeah, and the same thing for the passenger side itself. Has the mirror and also can be slided out itself. So yeah, right beneath here, you got your sunglasses holder if you want to put your sunglasses. If not, this you got individual light which can be turned off or turned on. And this right here is when the doors are open, it will control the main lighting right here, as well as the back, which I mentioned just now at the start of the video itself. Or this can be turned on or, by preference itself. So yeah, alright, so that's basically that for the vehicle itself. Now let me just show you guys the screen right now itself. So if you want to brake and just press the start button, vehicle turn on. So the vehicle is now so the vehicle is now already turned on. So basically what you can see right here is you got your speedo right there on top of your fuel gauge. You got your outside temperature right there, and your gear selector right, whatever gear selector you're in, and all the various warning light right there itself. So yeah, if I want to adjust the trip information, I just press on trip right here, and it will cycle through the bottom right there itself. So you can see the average fuel consumption and the odometer itself. My guessing for this for the high mileage on this vehicle is probably it was an ex-private hire vehicle itself. So after maybe the lease ended, GetGo acquired 3 of these Prius in their fleet. So yes, there is 3 this generation facelifted Prius in their fleet currently. So yeah, but going back on the topic, you can still cycle through trip A, trip B, and the range to empty if you want to, or just that itself. So yeah, going back on the topic of this, let me see what this does. If I'm not wrong, it should adjust. Yeah, basically that screen right here itself. So yeah, you got that. Basically got climate. You can adjust all this preference right here. Got a lane keeping assist button, warning light if there's any, meter customization. Yeah, basically all that itself. So yeah, you're able to see all that. And before I end off this video itself, there's one thing I want to talk about it is, which is this vehicle itself. This vehicle is the closest rival I can think of is, or anyone can think of when you talk about Toyota Prius, is the Ioniq Hybrid. To be honest, I have driven the Ioniq Hybrid previously itself, and I think it's a wonderful car. Same, I haven't driven this, but in my before I drive all this, before I move this vehicle off its home lot, I'm gonna say that my preference right now would be the Ioniq Hybrid, cause two things. One is I like the shape, I like the styling of the Ioniq Hybrid much better than the Prius Hybrid. No offense, but at the same time, it has Apple CarPlay. This vehicle, from what I know, doesn't has Apple CarPlay, unlike the Ioniq Hybrid, which has Apple CarPlay, and it has more features on the Ioniq Hybrid. Has more features that I want. If let's say I'm private hire vehicle and I'm looking for a vehicle that I want to drive for like maybe a contract for a few years, I would probably choose the Ioniq Hybrid. But if you say in terms of the battery and the basically the health, the battery status for a long term, I would say I'll recommend probably the Prius itself, because the Prius is able to last longer, and I think it wouldn't be a hassle itself, because this car has been out. I think basically the Prius has went through many generational cycle, and Toyota have improved their battery technology on this compared to Hyundai itself. So at the moment, I would say the Ioniq Hybrid itself, but I don't know whether I'll give an update, but at the moment I would say my preference is Ioniq Hybrid itself. So yeah, if you guys enjoy the video itself, do click the subscribe button down right below to see more videos like this, or click subscribe, and please see my 2 other videos. And with that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.